How's it going, everybody? Welcome back to Armchair Analysis. This is the return, if you will, of the channel. It's been a while. It's been since December, and it wasn't an intended break. Really, it was just a lot of things going on. And a lot of this stuff's going to be kind of personal. I'm going to be as straightforward as I can. I kind of hated the fact that this ended the way it did, or this slowed down the way it did. Um, or kind of came to that abrupt stop. And the biggest thing was just there's a lot going on in life. Back in December, I got promoted at work. Had to kind of take a little bit of time to really focus on that. Had some changes that I needed to make personally. Part of those have stemmed even now to April of 2026. Um, where I've just been continuing to kind of work on myself a little bit better. There's a lot of things in life that have changed. Of course, I went through a couple losses last year, losing my grandma and my dad both over the course of the year, and that was kind of tough, especially the fact that it happened kind of so close together, and my dad certainly not being a something that we expected. That kind of caught us all off guard. So I just didn't really know what to make of it all, and I kind of went through the college football season in kind of a numb space when it came to a lot of different things. Of course, that being not really taking the time to grieve everything properly, not taking the time to really take care of myself the way I needed to, and it came with a lot of different consequences for myself. Poor mental health, poor physical health, and all that, and I never got sick or anything like that. I'm very grateful to be relatively healthy, but um, just a lot of things that needed to be fixed. So um, I'm happy to be back in a much better mind space and in a much better I don't know, a much better place to build from, if that makes sense. Obviously, things have a lot of things have happened. We missed a national championship. We missed Indiana's first national championship at that, and that was kind of an unfortunate thing. I would have loved to have been able to cover that, and I didn't do what needed to be done to get there. So a lot of things that have happened have been on me. Things that I just I didn't do right. I should have done different and better, and it's unfortunate because we had a lot of growth going on here on this channel. This channel was doing fantastic. I mean, 200 subscribers. We were at 205. I think we've lost a couple since then, and I don't blame them. I don't blame anybody for taking that time to step away. I mean, hell, who knew if I was even coming back? And so it's been really cool. This spring we started a baseball show, and I really enjoyed the college baseball aspect of it. I think that's probably been my favorite part of the show, and I feel bad saying that because um, BJ and I, who you guys know from the Saturday lives and Sunday lives, um, we do the MLB side together. But man, I've had such a good time with the college stuff, and becoming a new kind of fan of college athletics. Of course, my Michigan Wolverines won the college basketball national championship this year. That was a really cool thing. You see all my South Carolina stuff back here. You see the West Virginia stuff. Thanks to shout out RJ for sending us that from the throwback game earlier this year or last fall, really. And we've got a lot more to add. I want to add to this. I've got some stuff coming actually, as I've recently become a season ticket holder at Wake Forest, and because that's really the closest place to me. And so becoming that and being able to go to those games every weekend, but still being able to cover the sport throughout is going to be a lot of fun. I'm really excited for it, and I think that there's a lot of room to continue growing this thing. I put my heart and soul into this college football show, into Armchair Analysis specifically, building this brand, putting everything together, every single graphic you ever see, every single social media thing that you're gonna see, all come from me. I'm a one man crew here. It's just me. BJ shows up for Saturdays, but that's all it's ever been. He's never put anything else into it. And that's no dig. Don't misunderstand what I'm saying. But this has been all me from the very beginning, and we've got a little help now. Thankfully, going to have some help on the back end, specifically with the social media side of things. We're going to be doing a little more with that, being more current with our social media here. So make sure you stick around with that. We've got a lot of things coming your way, and it's going to start tomorrow. Um, if I were commissioner of college football, what were the big things be that I changed? I did this last year when I restarted this channel as well, and really when I started this channel in the full speed ahead type of deal that we did. And I really enjoyed the way I went about this. I thought it was a lot of fun. It created a lot of places to think a little bit and be um, kind of what really are the problems around college sports. And thankfully, the opportunity is there. We can do it again. So I'm excited to bring that back tomorrow. We're going to be going through this season. Preview season is just over a month away, about a month and a half away, June 1st. As it was last year, will be the beginning of preview season, and I'm very excited to get into that. I'm excited to kind of talk a little bit about the every team. I'm excited. I'm already starting on research for every team. This Saturday, going to be at the spring game for Wake Forest, or the spring scrimmage for Wake Forest, because we're also going to the baseball game after. I'm very excited for this year and what it's going to bring. There's a lot of really fun stuff that we're going to talk about here. There's a lot of really exciting stuff. Now, understand that I know when you guys are hearing what I'm saying, you're seeing these helmets back here, you're seeing the different stuff back here. You're saying, "Oh, this guy's a homer. This guy panders." If you're new around here, you might think that. If you're not new around here, you know that I do tell it how it is, and I've been very honest and straightforward throughout the course of time. A lot of things have changed. And that's one thing that won't is the fact that I'm not gonna cater to my teams, because I don't. When I say teams, Michigan and Wake Forest, South Carolina, love you, and I'm gonna be a fan. I'm gonna be a fan from afar. But Wake Forest is my closest university, and I would be remiss to say that I will not miss the 3-hour drives to get to Columbia every weekend or a couple times a year. This year, we're still going to get there. I'm looking to get to more games this year, not just Wake Forest related. But I don't know what that's going to look like yet. So there's still a lot of time to kind of figure it all out and put it all together. But it's going to be a fun year. I'm very excited to get it going. I'm excited to see how this continues to grow. I want this channel to be everything I put out there for it to be at the very beginning. I'm very goal driven with this, and a lot of those goals are just related on me being consistent. First off, continuing to grow, continuing to build a community, and being, I don't want to call it a safe space, because that's a little too much. I don't think a safe space is the word in college sports fan chats, but when you go down there in the comment section, I want you to be able to post your opinion. And I may not agree, other people may not agree, but post your opinions. Those are fun. I enjoy it. And I really like the back and forth. I've enjoyed going back and forth with you guys on the team previews, as we do every year. Those have been some of the most fun content that we've ever done, that I've ever done. And I really enjoy the fact that those of you from around the country come back and throw comments down, say things, let me know what you're really thinking. Tell me where I'm wrong, tell me where I'm right. I enjoy all of that. I think it's been a lot of fun, and I'm just excited to carry that forward again. There's so many changes around the sport, so many things are different. Who knew that when we would come back, Kyle Whittingham would be the head coach at Michigan? Who knew when we came back that Indiana would be the national champions? And Lane Kiffin at LSU. I mean, heck, when we were originally starting, Lane Kiffin to Florida was the big storyline, and now we're here talking about him at LSU. There's so many things that have changed. I'm excited to get into it. I'm excited to carry this forward, and I hope you guys are too. I hope you guys will stick around. I know that, again, it's been a long break, and it's not been the intention. It certainly wasn't, but I'm looking to come back better and really give this everything I've got. So last year was just tough. Again, there was a lot of things and a lot of personal stuff. Anybody who's ever been through personal, losses and things like that, understand that everybody grieves in different ways, and everybody does things differently. And unfortunately, I didn't. I don't want to say I didn't do it right, because there's no right or wrong way. But unfortunately, I didn't take care of myself the way I needed to, and being able to come back and do this way is exciting for me. I'm pumped for it. I am very excited to see where this carries forward. Um, some people are going to say collaboration, stuff like that we've done before, will not be happening. I don't really intend to work with anybody else. I don't, not that I don't care to. I just don't intend to. I don't have any reason to. Um, I like what I'm doing. I like what we're building, and I'm excited to continue to do this in kind of a self-made way. I didn't go to school to be a broadcaster. I went to school um, to help people essentially, and I did my time in the military. I've done my time outside here. I just want to continue growing this thing and doing it my way. My schedule doesn't really allow for me to work with people anyways. It never really matches up. So um, it's just, I'm excited. I'm looking forward to what things are going to be. So I talked about why I took the break. We walked away from a growing channel. This thing can still grow. I think there's a lot of room for it. Again, we've got 200 subscribers, so now the path is 250. Increments, right? I want to continue to grow slowly but surely. If it happens fast, great. I don't care. I never intend or will intend to make any money off of this. I don't care. I do this because I love college football. I love college sports as a whole, and I want to see them continue to grow the way that I think they should be covered and the way that I think things should happen. And whatever way we make that work is going to be just fine by me. So I'm very excited for the year ahead. I'm very excited for the content ahead. There's plenty of it. Remember my top 10 lists for quarterbacks, running backs, all position groups last year? They're coming back. We're going to bring back our top 10 lists once again for the 2026 season. That will kind of lead into our preview season content. We'll also have our conference previews later in the year as well. Or closer to the regular season as well. When we get to August, probably the last 2 weeks before week 0, we'll preview everything there. From week 0 on, will be some of our previews for the national championship, playoff picture, all of that stuff. There's going to be a lot of research going in, and it's going to start. It's already started, as a matter of fact. And just understanding what you guys want to see. So let me know that stuff down in the comments. Tell me, hey, I want to see this type of content. I enjoy when you do this. I think opinion-based content's the best because it allows everybody to be heard in a sense that maybe not agreed with, but everybody gets to be heard, including me, but including you guys as well. That's what the comment section's for. I said that already here, but I love the back and forth. I love understanding different perspectives. It's some of the most fun that you can have in not only sports conversations, but in conversations in general, understanding different perspectives. It's something we don't do enough as a society that we need to, hey, look, I get it. I hear what you're saying. I don't agree, but I hear you and I respect the opinion. I love that type of dialogue. I love when people get passionate about their sports takes and they have a respectful but passionate conversation. That's allowed to happen. That's some of the most fun. That's where some of the best friendships I have come from. Arguments, discussions, conversations. Um, RJ, for example, one of my a guy that I consider a good friend. We've had our back and forths. I've had back and forths with probably everybody in in the group chat that I'm in. That we just talk sports all the time. But we all have this mutual respect for each other, this mutual care, and that's what I want this community to be, is just a mutual respect where everybody can have a good time. Everybody can state what they feel and what they think about anything. And as long as it's not, breaking any guidelines or any rules, which are simply just don't be an ass and no politics, none of that, we're going to have a good time. And that's all it's about here, is just having a good time. So I appreciate y'all for tuning in. I appreciate everybody whoever comes across these videos, whether you spend 5 seconds here or 5 minutes, or whether you spend the whole 15 minutes this video has been so far. I appreciate you for being here, and I care a lot that the content that we put out here is enjoyable, is fun, and that we have a good time again going forward. So with all of that said, what should you expect going forward? And then we'll talk a little bit about the direction of college sports. Actually, let's close it out with what you should expect going forward. Let's talk the direction of college sports. Obviously, NIL is the big deal right now. I was listening to some different podcasts, and obviously, getting back into this, kind of hearing other people a little bit. Now, this is something I haven't done before, is really listen to other podcasts because I like to have my own opinions. By the way, what in the 15 minutes of this, and I didn't realize I still had this thing on. I was listening to a video trying to figure out my OBS settings, and I never took it off. Anyways, there's no need for a headset, by the way. I'm not playing a game. Um, what are we doing going forward? And what college sports are? You know, I've been listening to more podcasts recently. I said that already. But in listening to those more podcasts, you know, I've again taken in some Wake Forest content specifically because I've been kind of curious about things post basketball season. Um, Specifically some news on Juke Harris. For those who are college basketball fans, you know he's a 20+ point per game scorer, is commanding a lot of NIL right now. And understanding that Wake Forest doesn't have the NIL, right? They have, I think, 10 million for football, 4 million for their basketball program. They can't hardly field a competitive basketball team with $4 million. You can fill a team maybe with some ACC backups, but that's it. And you know, so that opens some question marks. That opens some doors about NIL, where things are. How do we make this a little more fair? Is fair really the game we want to play? Obviously, there are certain ways to go about it. There could be certain caps and things put in place. Commissioner video tomorrow, you're going to want to know what I think of all that. But college sports is going to be from here on out driven by NIL, and until it either ends or we figure an actual solution out that allows it to stay competitive and allows the teams that, you know, allows everybody to have the same opportunities. And when I say that, it's not saying that everybody needs to be the exact same. The NFL, for example, I'm going to compare it because it's football. The NFL has a salary cap. It has a salary floor. But it doesn't say you have to spend any specific amount. It doesn't say you have to spend the cap, and it doesn't say you have to spend anything more than the floor. But there's a big disparity between the top spending teams and the low spending teams. There just is. At the college level, there's a big disparity. But there's a bigger disparity because teams are paying $50 million for their football roster, and other teams are paying 10, 5, maybe less for their football rosters. What if we met in the middle? What if we sat at $25 million as a cap for a football roster in college? You're already going to school for free. Is there any denial to that? You're already going to some universities that you have to pay probably $40,000 plus in tuition in general for free to play sports. So if you're doing that alone, saving all that money, do you really need $7 million a season? No, the answer is absolutely not. If we sat somewhere in the middle and had a cap, hey, you know, Michigan, Texas, Ohio State, Alabama, they'd all spend the $25 million cap. They would every year put $25 million rosters together, but they'd be able to do it well, and they'd be able to kind of disperse a little bit. As for the lower teams, you know, we'll use Virginia, for example. Virginia could spend their $10 million that they have. And Virginia spends their $10 million, and they still field a pretty good roster. They are right now. They're fielding a good roster with a little less NIL. Those things can certainly happen. That can be a thing, right? This can certainly work out in a way where, yeah, the lower spenders can still be competitive teams, and the higher spenders can still have their dominant seasons. The disparity is always going to be there because the brands exist, but it doesn't have to be there because the money doesn't. And that's going to be the interesting side of this entire thing. I'm very curious to see what the future looks like, and you know, looking at it from a positive perspective makes it a little less annoying. And I say that meaning it. Like, it makes it a little less annoying. I hated the NIL game, but I understand that there's ways to positively turn this around and fix it a little bit, make it a little bit better for everybody involved, and make this not so much about the money, but about the programs again. Make it about the rivalries. Make it about everything that made college sports great. Bring all of that back together. That can all happen. Again, we can talk about that more in tomorrow's commissioner video, so make sure you check that out when we get that uploaded. I'll be recording it later tonight. What you can expect of Armchair Analysis is this: a better social media presence. So make sure, I believe they're right here, you follow all these socials. Me on X, always going to be there on X. You can follow me on Instagram, and you can follow me on TikTok. That's where you're going to find all the armchair analysis content you can want, whether it's clips, whether it's my own personal content and takes. We also got some other stuff that we're going to do, a little more interactive content, trying to bring you guys in, trying to bring people into the comment sections of those pages, continue to build their engagement. Something I haven't been great about. I don't know how to work social media, man. I barely know how to work a computer well enough to put these videos on YouTube. That's what I can tell you with full honesty. So I don't know what the best things to do are. I don't know where the future roles here with this channel. I don't know how far we grow. My ultimate goal is to make this one of the best college football channels you can find. My goal is to compete with some of the best out there, the Josh Pates, the Cover Threes. I want to be up there with them, and not in a competitive sense of like I'm better than them and I know it, because I don't think that. I don't feel that way at all. But I feel like I can put good enough content out there for you guys to enjoy and continue to grow this thing. Continue to make this a very fun place for people to have a community and build around. So I hope you all will stick around. Now I leave you with this, because this was given to me after we stopped, and I don't particularly love that it happened because it kind of made me feel bad. But it was really cool to have. So let me go ahead and pull this thing out for a second. I had to pause. One thing that has not changed is mouthy dogs. I'll tell you that around here. But we've got this, and I am, man, I can't believe I even have this. I can't believe it was gifted to me. And it's still in the thing because I haven't had anywhere to put it. I will, though, at some point. We got an Armchair Analysis sign for Christmas. That was my gift from my girlfriend, and I never got to use it. I felt like shit for this the whole time, because I was like, man, I never got to use this thing. This thing's going to go to waste. What a cool thing to have. We're going to find somewhere for this to go, and it is going to be used going forward. So I'm very excited for that. I don't know what the idea or what the goal is going to be with it, how we're going to go about it, but it is going to be put up and used in some capacity going forward. So I'm very excited for this. One of my favorite things I've got so far. I don't even know. Looking at it now, I really don't know what to say. I just feel bad that I never got to use it. So that's going to be going up somewhere. I don't know where. I don't know how we're going to do it. But it's going somewhere. I'm going to find, actually, as soon as we're done here, I'm going to find somewhere for it to go. If I didn't knock everything over there, it would have been all right. We're going to find somewhere for that to go. We've got some more stuff coming in. As a matter of fact, I got some Wake Forest stuff coming in that I'm pretty excited about as well. The 20-year anniversary this year of the 2006 ACC championship, and I've got a couple pieces of memorabilia coming in from that I'm really excited for as well. No, I'm not affiliated with the university. Nobody at the university even knows who I am, other than a season ticket holder. So I'm excited for it. I'm looking forward to continuing to kind of grow the collection here. You can see behind me, there's a giant mess. I've been working on getting through my baseball cards, kind of seeing what I've got and stuff like that. So kind of going through those. I've obviously added a couple race cars to the collection. It's been a lot of collecting over the years, and things are certainly going to look a little different as time goes on. We're going to find some better ways to display all of it. But I'm just excited, man. This is kind of a surreal feeling bringing this back, and I know that's kind of cliche, stupid to say at over a 200 subscriber channel. Somebody's going to sit here and be like, "Look at this idiot." I hear you. I get it, but it's a lot of fun. I enjoyed this show last year. I thought it was so fun. I thought the engagement, the community was a blast, and I'm just really excited to bring it back and have it coming back again, stronger than ever, better than ever. Make sure you follow us on our socials. Follow me on the socials. I'm not trying to make this about me, us as a community, but follow the Armchair Analysis community on the socials. And yeah, this is not, by the way, this is not a lie. Monday through Friday, we're not going anywhere. These videos are going to stick around Monday through Friday. I've enjoyed the Monday through Friday content. I enjoy being challenged to find good content to make and kind of test some things out. So There may be some misses here and there. There might be, but typically we're going to have a daily episode. And when we get to preview season, you already know 68 teams in 68 days, the entire Power Four in 68 days, plus Notre Dame, of course, being 68. So yeah, we've got a long way to go with that. So make sure y'all stick around. Make sure you like and subscribe if you haven't already. Appreciate y'all for tuning in. Thanks for tuning in this channel update. We'll be back tomorrow. Armchair Analysis. We're back.